In this video, I'm going to teach you how to get out of your own way. If you're trying to be successful and you're struggling with even getting started, then this video is for you. The main thing I think that people, stumble on or it stops them from going and starting is that they want it to be perfect. They think they need all the equipment. They think they need microphones. They need 2 cameras. They think they need the best MacBook. And the only reason I'm saying this is because I was that person. That's why I have this stuff. But it didn't make me gain followers more. It didn't make me get more subscribers quicker. It made my content look nice, but was the content that I was saying, was the information that I was saying in the content even good? Because if it was, wouldn't I have 1 million subscribers by now? Or, wouldn't I have 1,000 followers on, whatever, more followers on TikTok? I'm trying to think of a big number and I couldn't think of it. But yeah, so that was me for a while. And instead of just like being a YouTuber and being a content creator and creating content, I was always moving around. Like, you can go back onto all my videos. I was always moving around my setup, trying to make the setup look better, trying to make the setup look more aesthetic, trying to figure out the best lighting situation. And with that, it was like I was never really actually like making content. I was spending most of my time trying to like make the videos look good, and instead of spending time like just like putting out content that sucked a lot more often and looking bad for a little bit. It's not even that bad. Like, just thinking, a lot of people don't start because of that, but looking bad, making bad content, making stuff that didn't really resonate with people, like the ones that I'm doing now, they may not be resonating, but I'm doing it more often so I can learn, I can watch back, have some feedback from other people to let me know, hey, this sucks or whatever, or this is good, this is what I like. And like kind of figuring out what I'm good at by like practicing and doing more of it. Instead, I was always focusing on making sure the angles were perfect, making sure the lighting was great, making sure the background looked so aesthetic. Like, go back, you can look at my videos. I've switched setups like 1 million times, but now I'm just like, okay, I have an angle. I have a way, so that I can be at a desk and talk and have my computer in front of me just in case I need some like bullet points or something like that. And now I'm just focusing on just getting the content out like way more often, just like whenever I feel the need. I'm trying to go every other day when it comes to YouTube, but I was going once a week before, which was just not enough to like learn. Now I'm thinking I know I need to do like at least every other day or twice a week minimum to get content out. Same with like TikTok. Like, I have like a big fear of just grabbing my camera and speaking into it and saying the things that I already know, the things that I know will help people, things that I've helped people with in person. Because when I'm speaking to a person, I'm able to like connect a lot better. The information comes out really fluidly and smooth, and they understand it. But for some reason, I'm afraid to like grab my camera and like, just speak into it and say what I need to say to get the information out, because the information is what's most important, But I think that's because I spent so much time gathering like, lav mics and, the podcast mics and the lighting. And so I'm like, okay, if I'm going to make content, I got to make it look good every single time. And that kind of put a block in my head of like, it needs to look good. The real reason too that like slowed me down, and I know this is the same for everybody, is that we just think way too much. We're just thinking about the outcome. We're thinking about, is it going to look good enough for people to even like it or watch it? Is the information that I'm saying going to resonate with anybody? Is it long enough? Am I in the right? It's like, just stop. If you have something to say, just pull your camera out and start saying it. Don't think about if it's going to get 1 million views. Don't think about if it's the right lighting. You want to make sure it's bright enough so people can see you. But I've seen videos on TikTok where it's like complete darkness and you can barely see their face, and it still has, 3,000 likes and 30,000 views. So it's not always about, the lighting, but make sure people can still see you, I guess. But it's totally up to you. What do you do? Some people do faces content, and that works for them as well. It's just about the information. It's about the hook. It's about the story that you're telling. Like, get better at telling stories, get better at talking, watch your videos back and see You know, am I fumbling? Am I saying too much? Am I saying a lot? And you know, maybe you need to slow down, take some breaks and pauses so that you can sound better and get the information across more. For me, I'm somebody who talks fast, so that's something I'm working on. I'm somebody who focuses on, or I don't focus on it, but I say a lot, and I know that, and I'm trying to slow down. So instead of saying I give space for people to understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, the one thing is so let's kind of keep it in order here. I'm trying to, you know, focus. But the first thing was, you know, don't worry about how good it looks. Don't worry about, you know, thinking too much about the beginning process. Just like start doing it and start doing it often. And then when you're doing it, stop worrying about the outcome. These are the first two things. I don't have anything written down, so I'm just kind of like going off of like my experience and what's really helped me. And really what it is just getting it out there, not worrying about the outcome. Stop thinking. That's what I was saying. We think too much about what we're going to say and how we're going to say it and what it's going to look like and what the outcome is, instead of just like letting it flow. If we continuously make content, if that's what you want to do, then we're going to get better at speaking. We're going to get better at putting the information out there. We're going to get more comfortable in front of the camera. We're going to get more comfortable just pulling it out and saying the things we need to say as they come to us. And when you're out of that like thinking bubble, when you're out of that thinking space and you're just in the being space, then you realize that's where the magic's at. Like that's a flow state. When you get into a flow state, you're not thinking. Like hours can go by in your drawings and your paintings and your music making and your content creation or in your editing, where you were like, whoa, I wasn't even like, how that time just flew, you know, because you weren't thinking, you were just being part of it. So that's like the main message. My last message here is stop overthinking it. Just be and realize that there is a plan for you. If you just focus on what you want to do and act as that thing, such as me being a YouTuber. I want to like be a YouTuber who makes good or gives out information that helps people, content creator that helps people with, you know, bettering themselves and becoming a better human with mindset, breath work, meditation. But I'm always focused on, oh, well, I hope this video gets 1 million views. I hope this video gets 1 million views. I hope this video gets 1 million views. And when it doesn't, because like I'll post it and then 2 hours later I'm like, oh, how many views it got? Oh, not a lot of views. Oh, how many views it got? Oh, not a lot of views. 200 view jail on TikTok and on Instagram, and on Instagram I get like no views. And it's just because I'm not really focusing on bettering the content. I'm just trying to be like, okay, what video is gonna get me what I need? And you see what I'm doing? I'm worrying about the outcome instead of just posting content and letting the world decide if it's good or not. And like I said, the more you post, the more you'll see what works for you. So it's not like you're just like throwing crap at the wall and hoping something sticks. You're kind of doing that a little bit, but it's really so that you can like see what works. And then when you find out what works, you're like, okay, I'm going to do a little bit more of this. And then you find your niche, you find your people who resonate with you, because you're not like having a fake setup with a fake script and you're just like, this is how I talk. You know, it's like being yourself and you're showing yourself, and people will resonate with that. People will show up for you and give you feedback, and you know, just you'll build the community that way a lot better. So let's see if I can, bring it all together here. So the first one's like, just start, okay? Don't worry about the outcome. Stop thinking, just be, because thinking makes us feel too much in the future. If we're anxious about the future, we're gonna get, you know, anxiety. And if we're worried about the past, we're gonna have a bunch of stress and fear. Oh, did I do that right? Did I do that right? It's like, who cares? So yeah, stop thinking and look sloppy. Just look sloppy when you do it. Beginning is gonna always look sloppy. Last story I'll tell real quick is I play kendama, and it's kind of a silly little thing, but when you get good at it, you start to impress people with it. So there's like skill to it as well. You can get really, really good at kendama. And I noticed that when I'm playing it on the beach or outside, people will be like, what is that? And then say a little group of like 5 people come up. Out of those 5 people, only 2, maybe only 1 will try it. And I think that's so funny and interesting. It kind of shows like the people who are like, oh, I don't want to look silly while doing it. Especially the people that think they like look cool. You can tell by their whole vibe that they're not even going to like try to sit there and, you know, look silly while they're doing something. And I just think that's the biggest thing is like, you're a beginner, you know, look like a beginner when you start. and then get better. People think like, oh, you're so good at that, you must be a natural. It's like, what? No, I wasn't born to be good at kendama. I wasn't born to be good at skateboarding or playing guitar. I practiced and I sucked a lot in front of people, but I didn't care. I was playing this thing everywhere. I was playing it in the store while my fiance and I were shopping. I was playing it while we were driving. I was playing it while we were walking around on the beach, and it always gets people to turn their heads, but I didn't mind looking silly. That's one thing I realized. I don't mind looking silly. For some reason, when it came to like content creation and music, I did mind that. That's like something that I was like really prideful of. I was like, oh, I know what I'm talking about, so it needs to come out smoothly. But I'm realizing now that that's been my holdback. It's been something that's been holding me back, is not looking silly in front of the camera, not looking like I don't really know, what I'm saying, or just not posting enough to learn what I'm good at. So yeah, the better, the more you do something, the better you get at it. So I really hope that helps, guys. If you have any tips for me or for anybody else in the community, we're trying to build a community, leave a comment down below. I love replying to all the comments. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.